Hey guys, what's going on? This is Pants R Dragon, and today we're doing the top 5 best AD carries for patch 5.22 or the preseason patch. As you guys know, this is the patch with the huge marksman's update, and a lot of things are changing, so that means there's going to be a meta shift in the AD carry lane, and there's also item changes, and yeah, it's very confusing. But after talking to a bunch of people and experiencing it for myself, I figured out what the best AD carries are at the moment, and with all that being said, let's get started. Okay, so at number 5 is going to be Kalista. Kalista kind of got changed in this patch. Her jumping speed now scales with attack speed, so that means if the enemy has Warden's Mail or Frozen Heart, you actually jump, slower, so it kind of sucks. But she's still a good champion with the changes because she also got buffed as her base attack speed used to be 0.658, but now it's 0.694. The attack speed growth is a bit less, but you're only losing 9% attack speed when you're level 18. And so, talking about base attack speed again, since the number increased dramatically to 0.694, this just means attack speed scales so well with her, and now she's just going an attack speed oriented build. And now since Runon's Hurricane can crit on its bolts, she can now go a crit build. Well, I mean, she kinda has to. Next up at number 4, we have Graves. So Graves in the early game, really weak. I feel like he can't really hit his Q because that 2-second delay on the second part of his damage, probably never going to hit unless you have CSC, but again, it's 2 seconds you gotta wait for. But let's get some levels in Graves, and he actually does quite a bit of damage up close. Shotgunning people in the face, doing bonus damage, plus having his great burst coming from his Q and R. Like his Q has like 500 base damage plus an AD ratio. And of course his E giving him 40 armor and magic resist so he can get up close in front. So if he's being supported by someone like Lulu or someone who can give him shields or hit point, he's really good in that front line. And his auto attacks can AoE potentially someone if they run into the pellets. And yeah, in the mid game and late game, he's just an absolute monster. Next up at number 3, we have Lucian. So Lucian in this patch actually got buffed pretty hard since his ultimate doesn't scale with attack speed and now just has a base number to compensate for that. And so building a lot of AD will help his ultimate do a lot of damage. Essence Reaver also buffed him this patch since he doesn't really need mana anymore, so in my theory crafting, I feel like he can max out W second, which does a lot of damage and also gives you a lot of movement speed. And yeah, CDR is a stat that Lucian does like since he is basically an AD caster, and I feel he is really strong right now. I don't think I would emphasize on attack speed since, he doesn't scale with attack speed anymore. Except for just autoing, the only thing I would get is Berserker Greaves. But mainly, I feel like crit and AD are stats that he wants to get. Oh, and cooldown reduction. That is something you definitely need on him. And to emphasize more on why you shouldn't max E second anymore. So, the only reason you would level it up was to reduce the mana since it did cost quite a bit of mana. But once you get Essence Reaver, it kind of nullifies that. And cooldown reduction, well, 18 seconds versus 14 seconds with 40% CDR, it's actually not that much of a difference. It actually equates to 10.8 seconds versus 8.4, so that's like a 2.4 second difference. So, 5 points in the E or, getting some damage in your W plus some movement speed. Oh, and cooldown goes on also. Next up at number 3 is going to be Vayne. So they removed the base damage off her W to make squishies not get pulverized by her true bolts, but I don't think it matters after level 16. In fact, she actually does more damage to people who have over 2,000 health, so it's actually a pretty good buff. In terms of items, she doesn't go Bladed Rune K anymore because it is nerfed, but she's going this energized build, which is pretty good on her. She will destroy tanks if they're in the game. She's still Vayne, one of the best AD carries in season 5, and yeah, she's just still strong. Next up is going to be Misfortune. So the thing I want to emphasize most is that her damage is actually pretty high with her ultimate. Once you get a good amount of AD, your ultimate has a 9.0 AD ratio at level 1, and then also it scales a crit, which isn't that important, but it's nice, and you gotta remember, it's AoE. Then it goes to 14 and 16 waves at level 2 and 3. And her attack speed steroid gives her 120% attack speed, so you don't even need to build attack speed. And so once she gets some AD, her ultimate is gonna hurt. And of course her new passive, Love Tap, actually scales good with their Q, since it'll automatically proc it, and of course it's just a bonus to AD ratios. You can think of her passive as basically a crit. She's also really good in lower elos because, well, she's kind of brain dead in the sense where in team fights your job is to basically press R and you'll probably win, but you gotta watch out for counters like Braum and Yasuo. And finally, we'll be doing some honorable mentions. First up is going to be Corki. So he's really good in terms of magic damage. He actually does quite a bit, and him emphasizing on like magic penetration or AD is also nice. He's also one of the few AD carries to build Void Staff. And since Last Whisper isn't that great anymore, it's kind of a bonus for him. Draven's also still good. Yep, he's still good. And then we have Tristana. So your average AD carry, she's still good. Like, she didn't really get nerfed or buffed. She's, decent. Not as good as some other AD carries, but she still does her job in the mid game and gets those resets, puts that damage on those towers, and is really good at sieging. And this is an early game meta, so I'm pretty sure she can snowball her lead. Anyways, thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. For my next video, it's going to be the jungle tier list. So make sure you press that subscribe button if you haven't already. And also, if you want to support my channel, all you have to do is leave a like, as it does help a lot. And yeah, I am Panther Dragon, and I'll see you guys next time.